this is my experience with James Gunn's Superman or Superman 2025. I have Rene YT right here. Say hello.
Hey,
Hey.
NYD, NYD.
Yeah. So this review is going to be just like the Sonic movie reviews we did a while back, right? And we're just going to talk about it, right? But I want to do something a little different before we just start going right into the movie. I want to kind of talk about like the trailer. I want to talk about the trailer with at least you, Ronnie, for a little bit before we get into the movie and just wrap everything up because we got like 4 pages worth of discussion over here about the movie. But I also wanted to add on like the trailer a little bit and just kind of talk about that. So, what were your thoughts on like the official teaser trailer 7 months ago?
Well, if I remember correctly, I remember Louis was, I hadn't seen it yet, but Louis was kind of flipping out about
Welcome,
it.
Max. Welcome, Void. Welcome, Frost.
Louis was flipping out about it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he was asking me if I saw it, or I saw it like, I think that day, and then Louis was like, "Did you see the trailer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro." To be fair, it looked hype. I mean, I was really excited for another take on Superman and how they were gonna do it, and thank God they didn't just do the fucking, what is it, bro?
Mm-hmm.
With the whole telling his origin story again and all that other junk. It went beyond that. And
Yeah.
they referenced a lot just with the teaser trailer alone, with like the accuracy of comics,
Mm-hmm.
animated movie shit, all that stuff, right? So there was a lot of accuracy, but I remember everybody was afraid what this movie was going to be, and straight and straight up just talking about it, and it was like everybody was like on the edge of their seat with this, and I personally was hype about the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't wait for it to come, but I was also sort of afraid about what they were going to do with the entire movie.
Mm.
Other than that,
Got you. Got you. I remember when I actually can't remember what my first initial. Actually, I think I'm trying. Let me recollect because I remember all I remember was me because this is usually with me when it comes to like movies in DC or a lot of movies. I don't really have like initial reactions on them, or I never really care about it until like maybe I watch it and be like, okay, cool. I try to keep my uh, opinions kind of like, well, not low key, but more like I just don't express like whatever towards like, I don't know, I guess Superman or maybe just movies in general. I just don't care about it because I didn't really get all that hype for like the Sonic trailers too. So this isn't like a one time thing or whatever, you know, type shit. But I don't know. It's just that's kind of how I felt when the teaser trailer was shown. I did have some thoughts like, oh wow, they're actually going back. I thought they were gonna not continue the Man of Steel shit, but I just saw that they weren't. They were throwing in crypto. They were. I was like, wait, they actually acknowledged Superman's dog? That's crazy. Because I was like, bro, only animated movies acknowledge Superman's dog. And maybe something from way back in the day in the live action. I'm not 100% sure since I haven't watched like all the OG Superman live action movies.
which we could get on that for
I did
my
watch the
experience
first
shorts
one
and
and I
shit.
thought it was like all right at best, but outside of that, I could always rewatch it or watch the second one onward and maybe think something differently about that. But anyways, uh, yeah, that's kind of how I thought about the
Yeah,
trailer. Yeah, lore accurate Superman. Yeah, but I thought it
right.
was all cool. Like Ronnie said, I did think it was cool that they're showing crypto. They're giving a fuck about Superman again. They aren't just doing the Man of Steel route, which I will talk about during this movie. And yeah, that's what I thought about the teaser. Anyways, I want Ronnie to take over the first bit of the movie, like how it starts out, and give us like a small summary of how it started out.
Oh,
Or
I got you.
yeah,
So basically, right? Oh my god! And the beginning of the movie is so cool.
mm-hmm.
Because it already lets you know like where the time period is set at
Mm-hmm.
and what's happening. Like especially like immediately after the fact, they tell you like, Superman just lost his first battle like 3 minutes ago, and 3 centuries ago, or not Superman, but like it was like 3 centuries ago talking about it was like something about Krypton correctly or something
It
or what
just to me it just started with Superman crash landing on just
no, because I'm talking about like the text at the very
all the text. Yeah.
yeah, because it talks about how like 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 3 something years ago Superman like he was just starting out at that point, right? And then it talks about 3 centuries. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was about the medic. 3 centuries ago, they were talking about how like metahumans had come
Mm-hmm.
to like or had started, humans started evolving into like metahuman stuff, and metahumans starting appearing a lot more. And then that's when I got to like, like these some amount of years ago, Superman started his journey as like Superman, and then 3 minutes ago, like before all this text came, like off camera, Superman lost his first battle, and then he just starts crash landing into that fucking ice in the Arctic.
Yep.
And I thought it was so cool that Crypto immediately appeared on screen, bro. Like literally, it wasn't 5 minutes before we got to see Crypto. And this is an underrated fact about me. I love the fuck out of Crypto, bro. Crypto is probably one of my favorite fucking super pets in the entirety of DC,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, so I was hyped when I knew Crypto was gonna be in this movie, bro. But dude, the way Crypto pounced on that nigga Superman, bro. God damn, he got fucked up, bro.
It showed us right away that Crypto didn't have any sort of training. He didn't have any sort of
Yep.
like any sort of uh I don't know if obedience is the right word or just
Like he was basically untrained, right?
yeah,
He was
untrained,
and it's because of
untrained.
oh wait,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna mention that yet.
yeah,
But yeah, and then like fast forward, we get to the Superman's base of operations.
Good
I can't
morning.
remember what
morning.
it's called, but
Oh, you're streaming.
Yeah, I'm
in that
middle of
case
it.
scenario,
I fed the
right?
babies already.
He
Yeah.
gets to like
The
or like oh yeah, that's right. We watched it like 3 days ago, so I kind of forgot. But
yeah,
um, Superman and his like robot assistant and all that other stuff was trying to like get him exposed to the sun and all that stuff. That way
Mhm.
he could heal up and get back out there. And I don't know, I kind of like that, bro. And I really like the fact that Superman, robot assistants actually exist. Because this is also another underrated fact about Superman. He actually does like there are versions of him that have like these robot assistants, and they're literally Krypton built robots to
Yep.
help him in the journey of being super.
Factual
And
information.
and is probably the this is probably the one thing I always wanted in the DCCU
Mm-hmm.
is to see Superman with like references, like major references of who he is, things he's related to, and all that junk, right?
Right.
And I just love to see the countless references in this entire. It really made my day to see that they just were so on par with everything Superman related at the very just out the gate.
Yeah, I want to throw in something real quick because
Yeah,
Ronnie
go ahead.
mentioned like the first four things on out of my notes already, and I was gonna add on with that too that I was surprised because only keep this in mind, guys. This is one of the first times because there was a time in Man of Steel Superman where they did show the assistants, but like it was like for like 2 3 scenes that was it, right? But this movie
Not only
really
that, but I think Clark was body.
Yeah, but I think what I was gonna say is that it's surprising that we are seeing crypto, we are seeing the assistants, we are seeing stuff that Superman actually has in his home, you know, for like probably the
Yeah.
first time in a long time in live action. Again, I want to say in a long time because I'm not 100% sure if they were in the OG Superman movies, like the OG live action Superman movies from way back in the 90s and
I was
stuff
like, we need to
or
watch
80s.
those, bro. Like the rest of those.
Yeah, we need to watch. We really do need to sit and watch the rest of those sometime. And I do agree with that 100%. So that's why I'm saying in a long time for anyone that also anyone can correct me in the comments about it too. I would appreciate that. But it's just so cool seeing something from the animated films actually being taken seriously in the live action James Gunn's
Yeah.
adaptation of the Superman movie. Um, and I also kind of want to take over a little bit from here. I wanted to talk about the Superman fight with one of Lex's massive robots, aka Ultraman. You know, at first, I think it was like Ultraman in armor or something like that.
Yeah, it was Ultraman in armor.
Yeah, it was Ultraman in like this robot mech, but we don't know that yet. We just think it's like a robot that has like superhuman abilities and all that other sort of stuff, right? And just seeing that like Lex has studied Superman for years, and also I want to get this out there as well. A lot of
To me,
people have
this movie's
seemingly.
on par with Robert Pattinson. Yeah,
You think
I
this
was
one's on
also
par
thinking
too,
that.
Ronnie?
Yeah, honestly, I think it is. They executed everything kind of perfectly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I'll say my piece afterwards because I haven't seen Pattinson's Batman in a minute, and I think I kind of forgot a lot. So I might. Well, no, I do remember it, but I don't know.
Oh,
My brain is flip flopping between my memory switch and then it's like not memory switch, not memory switch.
no, I got you. I got
But one thing I do remember from this movie, other than like the Lex robot fight scene and then Lex studying Superman for years, is that so many people have completely forgotten how petty Lex Luthor actually is. Right? I remember so
Yeah.
many people like on Twitter and social media were like going off on this movie saying, "Yo, this is the craziest I've ever seen Lex." And I'm like, they must have not watched Justice League like the second Justice League Unlimited series cuz Lex was
Yeah.
petty as shit in that series. Like that was also a great adaptation of Lex Luthor over there. And then
Right.
there's a few other Lex Luthors that we've seen that have been pretty damn petty over the years, man.
A
And
lot of what you'll see from Lex is always like the best you're gonna see is in the animated.
yeah, but it's like this one like kind of comes up as like a runner up in my opinion because it's like the shit he does in the movie and stuff, and it's like just kind of again it boggles my mind that people really forgot how crazy Lex can truly be if he puts his
God
mind
damn.
to it. And also, this movie makes Lex and another character we're going to go into like super geniuses, and I really like that too. That it isn't
Oh
just
yeah.
Batman that's a super genius. But anyways, you can go ahead and take it again from there.
Oh, cause oh my god, man. I mean, okay, let me chill out.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, right,
Mm-hmm.
like with that whole thing, with with like after the Ultraman fight with Lex Luthor,
Mm-hmm.
this is actually where we get like a into Clark Kent fight afterward. Which it does not take long. It takes like a good I want to say like 25 minutes to get into Clark Kent's life because you can't have Superman without Clark Kent. Yeah, you can't have Clark Kent without
Right.
Superman. But and immediately because this is my original thought
Yeah.
with this whole thing, right? I thought that like going in during this whole scene with Lois and Jimmy and everybody else, that sports section dude that I don't really like it all that much, so I forget his name.
Yeah.
But basically in Clark's work life and shit, I immediately thought that Lewis didn't know who he was.
Wait, what?
Didn't know he was. No, I was saying I immediately thought that that Lois didn't know who Clark was really.
He did it again.
Like Superman and all that other shit. and I went over and
Lewis?
okay, Alan. I don't like you.
Bro, you're about to be like my text-to-speech shit, bro. Every time I say Louis, they say Lois. Or Lewis.
Louis. Well, that is another way you spell Louis, but anyways, right?
Yeah.
Basically, what I'm saying is the fact that we got to see these two, like we got to actually genuinely see these two, like, kind of, you know, in, like, personal life after the whole work thing.
Yeah, because they were, like, going on dating for, like, 3 months.
Yeah, they were dating already, like, for 3 months, and I guess the Superman shit was probably, like, right out the gate.
Yeah, I'm Superman. Like, but...
Yeah, something.
Yeah, because that was a whole thing.
That was a whole thing. And then this is where it gets kind of bad, right? Skipping past, like, you know, some of the good moments that they had. That's when they start talking about, you know, Superman's, you know, purpose.
Yeah, the interview. Ronnie's talking about the interview that they had, yeah.
Like, literally, they skip past, like, or, well, they don't skip, but I'm skipping past it anyway. They skip past, like, they skip past, like, all this, like, good moments that they're having at the current moment, and then the topic of an interview with Superman, like, like Lois going over to interview Superman, aka Clark.
Yeah.
So then they kind of agree to doing that, and then basically what happens after that is, long story short, it gets into a whole can of worms, bro.
It does,
and it brings out a whole ass argument about it, like Superman stopping a war. Like, you sure you did the right thing there, buddy? And it goes into a bunch of...
Oh, so you did that without the government supervision. Oh, you did that without their say-so. Like you did that without this. You did that without that. And then Superman's counter-argument was like, people were going to die if I didn't do it, etc., etc. Because Superman cares about everyone anonymously, regardless of if it's the American people, if it's
that's the one thing you're going to notice throughout this entire movie, is that Superman gives a fuck about everybody, no matter who you are, even if it's some giant monster, brother.
Yeah. Like, Superman cares about all. He doesn't discriminate. That's what we're trying to say, because, you know, there's probably a lot of other adaptations where they make him not give a fuck, but you get the point, right? Is that this adaptation, you know, was trying to save everybody, and Lois is just questioning every action and kind of pressuring him into a corner, like, mentally. Right?
More accurate Superman, yep.
Yeah, pressuring him, putting him kind of in a corner, you know what I mean? Making him think really hard. And honestly, I kind of felt bad for Clark in that moment, / Superman, because I'm like, bro, he was raised on a farm in the middle of nowhere, taught the old ways, you know, of life, right? Not like the new modern day way that a city would be taught. Bless you. He's, you know what I mean? Like, he's taught in a completely different way than, like, a lot of other people. So it's like, oh, okay, mom and dad taught me the basics of saving people, right? Let me use my powers to go and save that person. And then, oh, I get ridiculed for saving that person all of a sudden now? Now I'm the bad person? You know? And that's pretty much what the interview in a nutshell was going to, and it just led, like Ronnie said, to really bad places really quickly. I'm talking really quickly.
It was probably one of the most, tension-raising scenes in the entire movie so far, right? It got really bad.
Yeah, and then while...
I remember, oh, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to say this real quick. I just remember being, like, towards Alan, I was like, bro, oh my gosh. Because that lasted for like 5 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
More than that, even.
One thing that I am going to say before we move on to the next section is, if you are not used to faster paced movies, you're probably not going to like this one that much. I mean, you're going to like it for some scenes, but there's a lot of scenes in this movie that feel like they move really quickly. Because I remember when me and Ronnie, we were watching this movie, it felt like we were being, and obviously it makes sense because they don't want to spend too much time on one section, because a lot of movies are pretty guilty of spending a lot of time on one bit, not getting to the next bit, to the other bit, all that other sort of stuff. But this movie feels like we go into events left and right, almost not like Sonic 3 levels, but like, because if you remember Sonic 3, they were freaking, we had like barely like a minute or two to speed through something.
Sonic 3, towards the end of the movie, they slowed down.
Yeah, they started to slow it down, and let us digest. But Superman, I just want to let y'all know ahead of time if y'all decide to watch this. This kind of felt like a more faster paced movie, and you're gonna feel that when you watch it because there's not a lot of time to allow you to absorb what the hell you just saw. So keep that in mind too when you decide to watch this one. One thing I am going to mention is Lex pulls up at Superman's place and destroys everything in there and gets the info from Superman's parents, and they actually completely encrypt or completely, they get the message out, right? They get Superman's parents' message that was corrupted or slash destroyed because a big chunk of it was destroyed apparently, and yeah, that happened. They got the info. They didn't really spoil it yet, but later on, Supes was dealing with this giant monster thing, trying to deal with it, but try to deal with it in a way that wouldn't harm people, that wouldn't, do anything to some other sorts of people, you know what I mean? Trying to deal with that. That's Superman, right? He tries to deal with situations the best way he possibly can, but the others, like the Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, and they show up. And Mr. Terrific also shows up to kill the giant just outright, like not giving a fuck about how much destruction they cause in their wake. Meanwhile, Superman's just looking at them like, why all the destruction, man? Like, come on, man. Just try to at least limit the destruction. People have to rebuild that shit.
Yep.
Which, funny enough, a lot of DC movies, I would honestly say before James Gunn, did not give a fuck about the civilians. Like, I'm gonna be so honest, in Zack Snyder's version of the characters, they did not give a fuck about how much destruction they were causing. I'm gonna be so honest. Like, a lot of the time, in my opinion, from how much buildings they were destroying and all that explosions and all that cool shit. I know you're supposed to not focus on that, but I like how Superman, James Gunn's Superman really tries to focus on that.
He was being very, very careful in that fight with that fucking giant monster, dude.
Yeah, because I bet he could have taken it out, probably, realistically in one or two punches, but, it would have caused sound waves that would have destroyed millions. Because I remember...
Keep in mind, this Superman does not really tap into his full power like that.
No, he doesn't. He gets his ass beat a lot. I also like how this movie shows how vulnerable Superman is throughout this entire flick. Very vulnerable.
Yep.
I love how they don't make him invincible. That's something Zack Snyder's Superman failed to do. Because every time Zack Snyder's Superman was in trouble, sometimes, or most of the times, it feels like, why is he even hurting right now? Isn't he supposed to be God? You know what I mean?
James Gunn is the man. Yeah, he cooked with the Superman movie, bro.
But, and I know it's jabs at fucking, Zack Snyder's Superman, okay? Jabs all day. I bet a lot of James Gunn fans already done that. But I'm just saying, sometimes when it's just, I don't know, that's just how I feel. Because I ain't gonna lie, seeing Zack Snyder's Superman get hurt was like, bro, brush that off. Go kick some ass. What are you doing? But I do like this attempt at Superman. But other than that,
Right.
let me move on from that bit. Lex fabricated the video of his parents' message, or figured out the rest of Superman's parents' message, and now folks hate the shit out of him because Lex, showed everyone the news of that video. And I remember when Lex showed that video, I was so pissed because Superman, this whole movie was only, he listened to his parents, he listened to the message, but no one knew no one knew except Superman that was only half the message, Superman was, even Superman himself didn't know there was more to it. And honestly, I thought they fabricated the message, they made it to ruin Superman, right? Or something like that. That's what I thought when we were watching the flick, but
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
later on we find out about that. What is it? It gets worse from here because guess what? At Superman flies back all the way back home, wondering what happened because he hasn't been home in a couple days. I'm listening while learning how to ring a character. That's what's up, X. Uh, Superman wonders. He flies all the way back home. He finds out crypto, his robots, his home, all of it has been destroyed. It's in pieces, it's in shambles, his computer, his technology, all of it destroyed. And he's fucking yelling, wondering where is crypto? Where is my boy? Where is my baby? You know, my doggo. Because you don't fuck with the man's dog. There's a couple things you don't fuck with the man. The radio, a dog, his girl, and their car. That's like 4 things. Oh, never mind, 5. The AC. 5 things you don't fuck with, man. the dog is one of those things you should not fuck with a man with, okay? Trust me. Telling y'all the truth. This is truth, bro. Life lessons right here. The 5 life lessons of what you shouldn't fuck with a man with, bro. But, he storms into, like, Lex's office wondering, where is my dog? Lex, what did you do to my dog? Because keep in mind, right? Lex is, like, the only person probably arguably in the entire movie to be able to fuck with crypto and get away with it, or fuck with crypto and you know what I mean, and actually do something, because any other person crypto would have just bodied, no problem, or fought off and flew away, you know what I mean, unless they had like weapons to negate his abilities and all that other sort of shit. And that whole scene was kind of crazy because there was a woman in the room with a phone showing Superman's destructive tendencies, and that made people hate Superman a little bit more, if I remember correctly, and it made Superman think, after flipping out on Lex saying he doesn't know where the dog is, to just leave for a while and just reassess everything, because I felt that too. I think we've all had moments where we had an outburst, and then after the outburst we leave and go try to reassess ourselves and everything, obviously, like Superman did. And since he didn't really need to do that until this point, I bet. Unless it was about like some teenage girl shit or something that happened before that we just don't know about. Yada, yada, yada. That happens, right? So later on, like way later on in the movie, Superman decides to turn himself in to Lex because he's like, you know what? Everyone's fucking hating me. Everyone's calling me names. You know, everyone's doing this. Everyone thinks I'm a menace. You know what? I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. You know? And I'm gonna turn myself in. Lois says, why would you do that? And he's like, they have my fucking dog, okay? And I don't know where the fuck he is. I gotta turn myself in. Also, everyone hates me, so I gotta turn myself in. And after he turns himself in, Superman is put into this pocket dimension, right? And this pocket dimension, keep in mind, Lex created this dimension in between fucking time itself and has his own little pocket dimension all to himself, where he encages superhuman threats, where he encages all these sorts of different superhumans, or metahumans as you'd like to call it, right? And seeing this for the first time, this pocket dimension that Lex can go into at any time, anywhere, seeing it in all 4 of those metahumans was actually
a chance to open a black hole, by the way, or a tear in the fabric of reality.
Yeah, tearing the fabric of reality if something goes wrong. Yet they were spamming it like no tomorrow, using it like every other day with no issues. And also they were planning to they were planning to end crypto after they were through with Soups. Like, for example, right? Like, when Soups got there in the prison cell, Superman did see crypto in there, and basically they synced his head to these flying squirrels to have him constantly chase him until he runs out of juice or not runs out of juice, but more like have him in that simulation until he, either they feel like they're done with him, like done with crypto, and they're just gonna end his life quietly, or some other shit, which I felt like was extremely fucked up. I remember me and Chris wanted to really fuck up Lex after that shit. Because just imagine putting a dog through like a simulation that they can never catch that fucking squirrel.
With a dog in any way, you're getting cooked.
Yeah, that's just what the fuck, Lex, dude. You gotta chill, bro. all this for Superman is crazy, but you know, hey, that's Lex Luthor for you. And I remember after all that shit, like Lois, Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, try to find Soups, aka more like Mr. Terrific, like basically implanted little trackers in Superman's bloodstream so he knows where Superman is at all times, which is kind of creepy. I ain't gonna lie. I would be freaked out if someone had a tracker in my head or bloodstream or something. Like I just have a metal thing in me that's just flying around in there, you know, for all of time until I'm dead, or maybe even after I'm dead. That's just weird, okay? That's extremely weird. But I remember Green Lantern was like, tuh, and let that Superman rule over us? Fuck that. And then Hawkgirl was like, psh, look, I'm with the green dude, even though I don't like his shitty ass haircut. I'm gone. But I agree. I don't want Superman ruling over us because they also believe, you know, what Lex said on the video. Meanwhile, Mr. Terrific was like, hey, Lois, let me show you some peek real quick. I want to come with you, but I'm coming with you just to piss off Green Lantern because keep in mind, the Green Lantern in this movie is not Hal Jordan. It is Jay Gardner. And Jay Gardner as a Green Lantern is known for being a dickhead, is known for being a douchebag, is known for all sorts of negative stuff, right? He's just known for that shit. So that's the Green Lantern we're with in this movie, which I'm surprised action Green Lantern movie, and he was like the main Lantern. That surprised me, Chris. I'm not gonna hold. I really.
Yeah, it did for me too. I'm surprised they got the actor that they did for his bitch.
Yeah, or even Hot Girl. I was surprised Hot Girl was in the movie too. But
Me too. I was also surprised.
yeah, because I thought they were gonna do Hawkman, but hey, I'll take it.
No, they did Hawkman and Black Adam.
That's correct. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to kind of rinse and repeat. Yeah, I got you. Which I don't think I've seen. I did see Black Adam. Never mind, but that was forever ago. But anyways.
Yeah, you had the Superman post-credit scene, if you remember.
Yeah, yeah. Lex shoots an innocent man to make Superman talk, which was a really sad moment. While he was in the cell.
And I think this was probably the scene that J-Bro was talking to me about. Because nothing else in the movie happened similarly as the way J-Bro described it in one of my streams. It was like a month or so. It was like more than a month or so.
Yeah.
So. But I just remember J-Bro going over and saying they made him cry for no reason. I'm like, bro, for no reason? He just shot a man in front of his face. And again, his whole thing is like, bro, I don't care who you are. I don't want people to die, man.
Yeah, Superman.
It's so accurate, it hurts.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that like people felt like Superman. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what, because when I mentioned like James Gunn's Superman doing any sort of emotional shit other than just being a god, it's weird, right? And since we're not used to James Gunn, I meant Zack Snyder's Superman. Zack Snyder's Superman is not used to crying, not used to having feelings or emotions or whatever, right? He's used to just being the badass that destroys and murks everything that gets in his way.
Man of Steel is the only like.
Oh, Man of Steel was like the only thing that kind of made people like kind of be like, oh shit. But anyways, as I was saying, right? We're so used to Man of Steel Superman / Zack Snyder Superman that like when we see Superman in general, keep in mind, right? A lot of people are still transitioning from Zack Snyder to this movie, and they're gonna be thinking, okay, maybe this Superman's gonna be similar. I know, like through the trailers, they try to show us really hard that he is nothing like Zack Snyder's Superman, right? But in a lot of people's minds, that shit still hasn't like transitioned for them, or that shit still hasn't fully processed for a lot of people, or fuck, in general, there's probably people out there that just straight up say, this isn't my Superman, or whatever the fuck, because
oh my god,
they don't like having Superman having emotions, or just being more human than other Supermen. But anyways, you get it. And yeah, I think when Lex shot that innocent man just to make Superman talk, I thought that shit was pathetic and sad, because I'm sitting there like, my dude, Lex, Superman probably would have talked, man. You know, but damn, that dude did need to die. And plus, Superman crying over an innocent man, that makes sense. I mean, like we mentioned earlier in this review, Superman cares about all people regardless of race, regardless of speed, regardless of race, regardless of who they are.
As a person.
Yeah, he gives a fuck. So it's like, of course he's gonna cry for everyone, that dies. And he died on his watch, too. He was literally powerless. Who wouldn't cry over something, like trying to...
Yeah, a little bit of context on that.
Yeah.
Kryptonite.
Yeah, he had kryptonite. Yeah, he was in a cage of kryptonite. Ultraman with armor, I am the Juggernaut. Glitch. Stop. Warlord 12. I haven't seen you in a minute. Welcome.
I was not even thinking about that. But
Me neither.
Now that I remember him,
now he's opening my eyes. But yeah, that was a crazy moment. Mr. Fantastic beating up so many dudes to reach Lex's portal was crazy. They really did Mr. Fantastic in this movie, like, very different.
Brother.
What?
Terrific.
Or terrific. I said fantastic because I put an F. My T was so fucked up it looked like a sprout. It looked like DK's, Rareware's DK's hairline. Or that I made it like curved, like a Jimmy Neutron haircut. So the T looked like an F. But Mr. Terrific beating up so many dudes. See, me and Ronnie made a mistake. He said Lewis, I said Mr. Fantastic. Whose fuck up was worse? Let us know down below.
It sounds like I'm saying Lewis because of my mic. The quality's shit. So I am saying Lewis. It just sounds like Lewis. They sound like two different words, but they also sound very fucking similar, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's weird. What's up, Tim? What's up, Amber? How you guys doing? We're reviewing the newest Superman movie, so if you haven't seen it, spoilers, please click off the video. But if you have,
spoilers of this one.
Welcome to the Superman I'm just kidding. But yeah, anyways, after the terrific shit, him getting to the portal and shit, Soup saves Crypto. I can't remember his name. The dude that Superman saved, that was also poisoning him with kryptonite for a while. What is it? Can you do Fandubs of Donkey Kong Country Returns cutscenes? You know what? Because of that, I just might. I can get up on that sometime in the future. Probably after I'm done with, Dude, wait. Louis says he has work at 11, right?
What?
Hey, what time you said you had work today?
11.
What time is it right now? It's like 8 to 9. Right now. You need to get ready, dude.
No, he has work at 11, brother.
Yeah, 11, okay. And it's like 8 to 9 o'clock right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, get up. This is the third time I'm waking you up today. Anyways, sorry about that, but Superman saving Crypto, Element Man, and his little baby from the pocket dimension, that shit was crazy. I'm just trying to push back that moment since I spent talking to this guy over there, way over there.
Over there.
Yeah, this movie took events after Justice League? No, James Gunn's Superman is in it.
Superman.
Yeah, he's in a whole different continuity. It's a whole different universe. So, yeah. Anyways, Lex tears a hole in the universe just to get Soups' attention. I remember that scene like it was yesterday, and that shit bothered the absolute fuck out of me. Because it was like, bro, he is tearing a fabric in reality for that whole city just to be up and gone. And possibly the entire fucking, planet getting a giant hole ripped into it if they kept it open long enough, right? Just to get Superman over there to try and deal with it is absolutely insane, man. I what the fuck, dude? But another thing is, right, is Soup's talk with John Kent about how kids, how kids are, like how parents try to raise them and all that other sort of stuff, because if you guys remember, Superman was still extremely hurt about his parents' message. And, the Kents, they barely got time spent in this movie. They had, maybe 2-3 scenes. But the talk with John Kent, actually sort of kind of reminded me of, when Aunt May and Peter had that talk in Spider-Man 2. When she was packing up, getting ready to move out. if you guys remember that scene in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. I know probably not a lot of you were probably watched that movie, but if you knew that moment, that's kind of what
It's a pretty popular movie. Plus, it came out like very early 2000s.
I know, but I'm just saying, just for anyone that know, because I know there's gonna be a lot of people that watch this review that know it, but then there's also gonna be a lot of people who don't know it.
Yeah, because they're new gen kids.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways,
I'm kidding.
you know what? Just for a joke, I'm gonna say Lewis and Jimmy solving the mystery of Lex's plan in full force, right? Because after that, like during while Superman was out with his family and stuff, Lewis Lewis and the boy Johnny and Lewis. By the way, I'm gonna say that now. They were Ronnie, stop. Alan, stop. You're not funny. Stop. You're lame. You're boring. Just they figured out Lex's whole plan to try to ruin Superman because basically Lex wanted to, I think it was like earn a part of land, right? And make it like, right, Ronnie? He wanted to be a king of the land, right? So he can have all superior, like all the, like, oh God, it's so stupid. Well, it's not stupid, but okay, let me try to word it better. It goes like this.
Yeah.
Lex wants a fucking country all to himself. He wants to be the king of that country, and then he also wants to have all the superior tech in that country. So not only...
He basically wanted to take the world.
Yeah, but starting off slow, he wanted to become king of a country and then build from there. That's what he wanted. You know? And then also have the best tech in the entire world, since obviously he already semi-does. It's just that he wants even more of it on a crazier degree. And honestly, I'm sitting there like, of course Lex would want that shit, but more than anything, he wants to ruin Superman. Terrific pull to Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy. That's actually factual information. I didn't think about that until you said something, bro. When he beat up all those guys. But anyways, Ronnie, do you want to talk about Supes and Ultraman and other Lex goons are fighting in a football field? So, like, for example, like that football field scene. Yeah, go ahead. You can talk about it there.
Easily the best combat we've seen Superman do in a fat minute in live action. I'm sorry, but if you're going to talk to me about Zack Snyder shit, I can really give less of a fuck, because Superman really hit that tornado-ass shit on that motherfucking bitch.
Bro. Okay. So basically, the fight in the football field, like Ronnie was just talking about, was Lex's goons. And I think it was Ultraman in another suit. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it was Ultraman in just his base. He wasn't in, like, any mask.
Well, no, because remember, he was wearing a helmet, so there was, like, no reveal.
Yeah, but that was just his suit, you know?
Yeah,
Know that.
I got you.
Remember, Lex didn't want him to know that. Oh, well,
right.
We're going to get to it here in a minute. But
yeah, but anyways, so yeah, Ultraman and... But yeah, anyway, so they were fighting in this football. Superman learns his opponent can take more than one hit, and he starts pulling out of pocket MVC combos. This man is my rookie was so fucking silent when I watched that.
No way, you just... I'm sorry, bro. That shit was kind of fun.
But anyways, as I was saying, right, is they were fighting in the football field, and Superman decided, okay, we gotta... Oh, and by the way, yes, one of Superman's goon has nanotech, okay? And I know there's people out there that actually are annoyed with nanotech, just in like nanotechnology in general, on supervillains or superheroes. And, you know, like, why is it always nanotech? Why can't it just be...
No, literally everybody was talking about in that scene, just eye lasers, my guy.
Yeah.
How can I eye laser when the nanotech is blocking my ocular vision, my nigga? I can't see.
Yeah.
Nor can I activate my laser eye beam.
Yeah, I was about to say that, but basically this bitch with nanotech was getting inside of all of Superman's systems, like his whole entire body, and filling it with nano shit, and basically to the point where Superman's like, oh, nah, okay, I can't breathe. Let me just go.
Like it was all up in his eyes. It was all up in his mouth, going down to his lungs.
Yeah, and also keep this in mind too, like, while he was flying up in the air, the nanotechs were still going inside of him, but Ultraman's also punching the shit out of him simultaneously while he can't breathe,
like, yeah,
and have no oxygen in the air.
Bring him down,
yeah.
Actively punching the hell out of him to get him down.
Yeah, so Superman flew all the way up into the air, Super Saiyan style, I'm just kidding. Right, all the way into the sky. I think almost out of the stratosphere. I think almost out of Earth's orbit. Yeah, okay, they were in space. And then all the way back down, crashing so hard.
This nigga Superman was Suplex City, bitch, Suplex City.
Yeah, he basically, if you guys remember Ryu Hayabusa when he did that ultimate suplex in one of his... Yeah, fuck, I can't remember, but it was like the Hayabusa's fucking tornado all the way down from that one bit all the way down. Think of that shit, or think of Primary Lotus on Ecstasy. And literally Superman just pile drived all the way down to the ground, completely taking out nanotech.
Sasuke's grab from Naruto Storm 1.
Yeah.
Hayabusa Crush.
Hayabusa Crush, yeah. Basically, after that, right, Nano Bitch was out. She was done after that attack. She was just flat out done. Superman coughed out all that nano shit going, yeah. Disgusting ass moment, by the way. Kind of reminds you of me when I'm going, yeah. And just coughing all that shit out.
All that shit, man.
Yeah, got rid of all that shit from his system. All of it. Not just a little bit of it. It was all of it. So that shit must have been disgusting. And then he was also barely scraping out for time. But anyways, so after that attack, we found out that Ultraman is Superman's clone. And they have... And when we found out that Ultraman is just Superboy... Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm not going there. All right.
Don't.
What?
Do that.
Don't say that's Superboy because it's not. That they didn't call him that, so therefore he's not that. Think of like it's kind of like Mega Man, the evil clone from Mega Man 1. Think of it like that instead.
Besides, he died.
Well, we'll get there. God damn it! I was kidding.
No, I gotta say it. My video now. See what you did in that Gohan video? I don't like that. It's my video now, buddy. I'm just going.
Okay. But with all seriousness, right? They had a extremely long and hard fight, bro. Like I'm talking, this clone of Superman actually is stronger than Superman by like a little bit, but he's way dumber. Like, he's stronger, but he's dumber. They went with that whole thing. Like, he's a...
Yeah, because he's kind of nothing without his commands. You know,
yeah, he's nothing without his commands. Yeah,
Lex,
exactly.
Yeah, literally, Lex was just fucking him up.
Yeah,
with
like...
the fucking commands.
Yeah, with the commands. And after Superman realized, oh, wait, this guy's dumb as bricks.
Without him.
Yeah, Crypto, come on in. And obviously, while Superman and Crypto were dealing with Ultraman, Green Lantern, Hot Girl, and Element Man, or whatever they call him, I can't remember his name. I'm just going to call him Element Man, since he used different elements, different rocks, and all that other sort of shit for abilities.
Yeah, different types of alloy.
And all that other sort of stuff. They go over and save the people, while Superman and Crypto, Crypto's destroying, Lex's commands, command little robots to help Ultraman fight. And after a while, Superman did defeat, Superman and Crypto did defeat Ultraman, and after they defeated them and stuff, or defeated him, which was a hard fight, Lex said send in the fucking Raptors, which Superman easily dealt with, by the way. I'm talking way easier than the Superman clone.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that. He started laser beaming, like heat vision beaming his little raptors and all that shit. And yeah, and then after that, meanwhile, like Mr. Terrific and Superman after the Raptors, you know, they got into Lex's little room where he was, found out where he was. Crypto kind of bitched Lex, by the way, just biting him and throwing him around the room, and everyone was getting horrified. And Superman's over there, or Superman's trying to tell Crypto, stop, stop it, stop it right now, Crypto, stop.
No, because he was like, oh, okay, come on, man. I mean,
Yeah, come on, man. Come on, Crypto. Put him down.
But he deserved all of that shit.
He did deserve Crypto beating his ass, especially after what he did to Crypto. So Crypto was like, nah, Dad, revenge.
Dad, revenge.
Or something. But other than all of that, right? They saved the day. They put Lex in jail. Goofy ass in jail for trying this plan. Terrific sealed up the hole to the tear in the universe. And, after that, it was like chill for a little bit, but we got to talk about something a little bit. And I like how what Dave said about Supergirl a little bit. We got to talk about the Supergirl moment.
Yeah, I said the same shit, but I guess it's under my...
Well, no, it's also what you said, but I was gonna say like what Dave said afterwards to kind of, okay.
You know, motherfucker. Undermine the anyway.
Bro, did you just trip over your own charger, bro? See, I told you to take that out. But you don't listen to me. Super Friends fighting in the background. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But what I was going to say was about James Gunn and Supergirl, right? Because when me and Ronnie practically got to that part, like her just showing up at the end, like I think she was wasted. I don't know. She looked exhausted or tired or whatever. But she was like, "Where's my damn dog?" And Crypto went flying, smashing her into walls for some fun and shit.
And this is where we realize, no wonder why Crypto does shit like that.
Yeah, and then we figured it out that like, oh yeah, now we understand why Crypto acts the way he does. Yeah, me and Ronnie both said now we know where Crypto got it from, and it wasn't from Soups.
Yeah, and this is what I wanted to say real quick before we get into the nitty gritty of the end bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say Supergirl's shit was wasted because we don't know what they're gonna do with this Superman in the future. If they're gonna reset Batman's whole thing with the Robert Pattinson shit, and if they're gonna do James Gunn Superman and shit, I'm expecting. Keep in mind, guys, Batman and Superman are like one of the top two heroes that everybody talks about in the DC.
Yeah, or just in general.
I feel like
they're like a top 5 in general. If it's in general, it's probably a top 5.
I'm saying top 2 in the DC because they only revamped like 2 of their movies, right?
Yeah.
And made, different versions of the movies because Zack Snyder's Justice League, I guess, was not it, and it kind of just felt like that.
It really wasn't it.
It wasn't.
They made the Robert Pattinson fucking Batman, and they made the James Gunn Superman. I feel like this is signifying a revamp of the with the I almost said JLA, but I feel like this is a revamp. This signifies This is signifying a revamp of the Justice League in the DCCU. In my honest opinion. Yeah, I think I did say the same thing that Dave did. It's a different take on Supergirl.
Yeah,
something I'm definitely gonna have to get used to if they do future stuff with her. But oh god, I just can't wait now for that. But
yeah, because I remember Dave said like, I feel like it's too soon for me to really say my take because we did ask Dave because me and Chris' initial thoughts on her was like, what the fuck is this?
It was so out of the
shit,
blue. That's mainly why I was thrown off.
I was thrown off by just how she was, because usually Supergirl / Power Girl, whatever you want to fucking call her, I don't know. She's usually like chill. She's usually like high on energy, like super cool, super whimsical.
She's okay. Let me kind of interject here a little bit. She's this like happy upbeat, not really in she's like a happy upbeat, girl / woman, depending on what variation you talk about, basically. Or she's very prideful of who she is, she's proud and all this other shit, right?
Yeah.
Basically staying true to who she is and all that other shit. But usually that's the aspect you see of her in a lot of adaptations. In this adaptation, she's a teenager. She's kind of like this. She's like this, like, teenager that's going to party, getting drunk, and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, in this sense and scenario, it is a very different take on Supergirl than what we are used to.
Mm-hmm.
My take on it so far, I mean, I can't say, like, you know, obviously, like Dave, I can't really say anything because we haven't seen a lot of potential of her yet. But all I can say is right now, it did throw me off that she was in this movie at all. And what really kind of made me be like, what the fuck, was because there is no other version of her that acts this way.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah, unless it's like somebody from like a completely different Earth in like the animated series or like the live action series like Supergirl.
Yeah, and it was a completely. I felt like one of the reasons, right? One of the reasons why it threw me off so bad was because this movie had none of that vibe in it until she showed up. Like, you know, like the vibe of it was like the vibe of this whole movie was like, I don't know, and it's I can't describe it, but it had its own vibe. But then it just, when she showed up, it kind of was like, not like completely off, but it was like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, and that makes sense, right? Because you know, obviously this is Superman's story, right? We're gonna get more of what Superman be feeling in the moment, or what we're also feeling in the moment behind the screen, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole point, right? And you're not gonna notice like that shit until the end of the movie because, like, you know, Supergirl.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna notice that, but that's honest to God, like all of our thoughts about James Gunn's 2025 like Superman movie. We thought it was pretty solid. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be like because I remember when this movie came out, there were so many people that were on like, oh man, Zack Snyder for life side. There were so many people that loved this movie. There were people that felt mixed. There were people that just hated it, but you know, and because like I remember this movie just receiving like just mixed reviews like all around, right? And I thought I was gonna go into this movie because I loved, you know, the Zack Snyder movies, and I thought I was gonna go into this movie just like, oh man, maybe I'm not gonna vibe with it or something like that or whatever, because I'm a Zack Snyder fan, and Zack Snyder fans for the most part they don't vibe with a lot of other Superman that isn't like this one or the one that is their one. You know what I mean? So it's like when I went into it, I was like surprised that I ended up liking it as much as I did. And I think Chris was surprised at how much he liked it too going into it.
I really was, and I love the hell out of it.
Yeah, we're not gonna say it's like a 10 out of 10 because obviously there is some issues, but like we're not gonna say it's the worst flick ever made either. You know, we think it's pretty damn good. Chris says he loves it. I think it's a pretty solid movie. I would give it like
I love it just because I've been a Superman fan since I was very little.
Same here, but
and it's just Superman.
Yeah.
Always love any adaptation that they actually do right and for acting.
Right. But
That's what this shit was, and it really carried my thoughts.
Right. Got you. But other than that, for me, I think that's it. Do you have anything you want to say, Ronnie, to wrap up this review?
Definitely check this one out. If you don't know what Superman is, whether you do or not, it doesn't matter. Check this one out. It's pretty solid. I'd say give it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go over, watch it with your family, your friends, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. Do any of that shit, man. This movie is solid. It is a solid Superman movie, and I feel like you could possibly enjoy the hell out of it.
Right, you can enjoy it.
Too. But, you know, hey, subscribe to NYT, and thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care of yourself, man.
Yep, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time in another review on. I don't know what the next my experience is gonna be, but it'll be something.
Something.
Yeah, it'll be something. But anyways, until next time, guys.
Bye.
Peace out. Bye bye. Oh wait, let me do like a Superman outro thing. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe I should do something a little wild. Hold on. Let me yeah, let me take let me do what I should have done a long time ago. Um what? I want to be Superman, bro. I want to fly. I want to fly, bro. I want to fly. Bro, anyone can be Superman if they put their faith into it. So I'm just gonna. Oh my! I actually hit my freaking head. Oh, I hit my. I do that tablet could look if. Oh, oh my god! My goddamn head. Yep, it's over.